So Lisa Leslie was commenting during the game yesterday at halftime.
It was like, all right, bitch, it's revenge season.
She needs an. I'm just thinking, me personally, I would not put Caitlin Clark back on the floor this season.
Whoa.
Now, enter in legend Lisa Leslie, because she is talking about Caitlin Clark shutting it down.
Players ranked Caitlin Clark the 9th best guard in the WNBA.
That poor girl's getting bullied by that entire league.
2 minutes ago, WNBA icon Lisa Leslie delivered a surprising warning to Caitlin Clark, advising her to step back before the league itself starts working against her. Could this signal the end of Clark's season or even threaten her career?
Now, enter in legend Lisa Leslie, because she is talking about Caitlin Clark shutting it down. Shutting it down. By the way, Fever 11-13 without Caitlin Clark. They're not, if they do sneak into the playoffs, they're not doing anything without Caitlin.
If Caitlin Clark's groin injury worsens, she could be sidelined for the entire season. Lisa Leslie's caution serves as a reminder of the risks of rushing back too quickly, particularly when the Fever lack the strength to chase a championship without her at full health.
You know, that could happen. Now, look, there's a lot of headway they've made on medicine, but then again, we're talking about the WNBA here and not the NFL, although the one saving grace is Caitlin Clark makes so much money, she would obviously get medical care away from the team if she had to, I'm sure, because hell, I would.
With only one more victory needed to virtually secure a playoff spot, the Fever face a tough decision. Should they gamble with Caitlin Clark's health for the postseason or prioritize protecting her long-term career? The growing debate suggests many doubt if bringing her back is truly worth the risk.
And then the Fever went and rattled off 3 straight losses in a row. And suddenly they're 2 games below 500 with 3 games to go. I think they would be questioning whether or not to bring Caitlin Clark back. But now with that win, worst case scenario, you're in the playoffs if you win one. You're going to be in the playoffs on more than likely if you win one of those last 3 games, which they're not going to lose all 3. They're not going to lose 6 games in a row at the end of the year. They just need one more win to pretty much guarantee the playoffs.
Caitlin Clark's new logo may have just dropped, and while fan pressure is mounting, Lisa Leslie's concern cuts deeper. The rush to bring her back isn't only fueled by excitement, it's the burden of expectations, with Clark being pushed to show she can carry the WNBA even while battling through less than full health.
Man, I mean, it would be lovely to get her back, but we care about Caitlin Clark playing basketball for a very, very, very long time. And so you don't want her to return unless she's 100% healthy. I'm thinking about more so from the player perspective of the pressure that Caitlin Clark is facing, getting back on the court. Her logo was just released a few days ago. I mean, obviously, we've seen the fans and the number of people in attendance for the Fever. And so it's been tough, I would imagine, mentally for her to have sat out this many games her second season. I'm wondering if that pressure is starting to get to her a little bit about just returning this season and showing us that you can play basketball again.
Lisa Leslie emphasizes that Caitlin Clark has never been selfish with the spotlight, but the league has relied heavily on her star power. While the business side gains, the real danger is that the pressure to perform could come at the expense of Caitlin's long-term health if caution takes a back seat.
I think we have to understand that when one player eats, we all eat. And as we all get more opportunities, it just opens it up for everyone else. And I think Caitlin has said that even herself in certain interviews. And I love that. I love that she's not the player who's like, it's all about her. It's not. She's giving love and homage to those of us that have come before her. She shares the wealth with her teammates, and she doesn't have to do that. So I just don't, again, I don't know what the big deal is about the fact that Caitlin is getting a lot of love. She deserves that, and she's helped change this game just as a lot of other players have.
Caitlin Clark has the rare ability to take over a game single-handedly, making her absolutely indispensable. But that very dominance places an unfair burden on her shoulders, more than any young star should have to carry. It's this heavy reliance on Clark's success that underscores the risk Lisa Leslie is cautioning against.
She has a little bit of you took some folks out a little bit, but you're strong, and that's what it takes to be a champion. But also kind of like the swoops too, like she can guard, she's unstoppable, she can take over this game literally by herself.
Rather than celebrating the spotlight Caitlin Clark has brought, many players have targeted her on the court and downplayed her success. Analysts have cautioned that this steady stream of criticism could backfire, sparking even greater backlash against the league itself.
What did we say?
Right, so if you're sitting there beating it up and doing all this, all y'all become is hated. Like, have y'all not paid attention? No one is caring about anything else. You want to beat on it, they're going to hate on it. You want to talk shit, they're going to hate on it. Like there comes a point where reality has to kick in.
Some have even suggested Caitlin Clark could join a new mixed league or start one of her own, arguing that she's already bigger than the WNBA itself. They warn that if the mistreatment persists, Clark won't need the league in order to thrive.
She'd make her own fucking basketball league.
Yeah. She got offered a big payday to enter a mixed league, one that had men and women in it. It was run by a rapper or something. I'm short on details, but she declined it. And I kind of think it's probably for the best. You know, do you really want to see her get clowned on by like college level men?
Yeah.
Reporters observed how light criticism of Clark's fouls quickly escalated into accusations of racism. The exaggerated controversy revealed just how desperate the league has become to manage the narrative around her, rather than focusing on protecting its biggest star.
Mockery of WNBA players is a threat to the entire country, apparently. At least if those WNBA players are black. If they're white, you can mock them all you want. You can assault them on the court, in fact. Which, by the way, of course you should ban big, long fake nails in basketball. I can't believe that hasn't already happened.
Former players even admitted they wouldn't want Clark as a teammate, claiming she might not share the ball. But instead of being a fair critique, this came off as petty, only underscoring the jealousy and resistance she continues to face, even from veterans.
What you meant?
Yeah, no, I know
when you
you
did that video. I knew exactly what was happening.
So I'll say that I love watching her. I'm not sure I would have loved playing with her though. Like, I'm not sure, because I'd be like, pass me the ball. I'm open. Give me the ball.
Bring
but
it down
she's
here.
a very good
It's like, I average like 5 assists. She averages like 8. I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like she'd take a 3 instead of passing it to me, and I'd be like, no, mate, that's not going to work.
Now steps in legend Lisa Leslie, urging Caitlin Clark to consider shutting it down. While her return could give the team a huge boost, Leslie stressed that from a coach or GM's perspective, the priority should be Clark's long-term future. In her view, putting Caitlin back on the floor this season simply isn't worth the risk.
I'm just thinking, me personally, I would not put Caitlin Clark back on the floor this season. And the only reason why I say that is because I had the injury that she had. That deep groin injury is nothing to play around with. It can feel like you've never had it.
I think the real debate is whether Caitlin Clark should even come back at this point. With that latest win, the Fever are essentially guaranteed a playoff spot. Just one more victory seals it. Realistically, they're not dropping all 3 of their remaining games, so the question becomes, is risking her health worth it?
And then the Fever went and rattled off 3 straight losses in a row. And suddenly they're 2 games below 500 with 3 games to go. I think they would be questioning whether or not to bring Caitlin Clark. But now with that win, worst case scenario, you're in the playoffs if you win one. You're going to be in the playoffs more than likely if you win one of those last 3 games, which they're not going to lose all 3. They're not going to lose 6 games in a row at the end of the year.
During yesterday's halftime coverage, Lisa Leslie made it clear she wouldn't put Caitlin Clark back on the court this season, urging her to shut it down. That sentiment is gaining traction, with many voices online and in the media echoing the same belief that the risks tied to her injury outweigh any reason to rush her return this year.
So Lisa Leslie was commenting during the game yesterday at halftime. She wouldn't put Caitlin Clark back out there this season. Hang her up. Now, a lot of people, man, like I said, I've been seeing this, guys. I've been seeing a lot of people in the comment section. I've been seeing a lot of people online speak about this situation with Caitlin Clark not coming back this year.
At the end of the day, it comes down to money and marketing, and there's no denying the impact Caitlin Clark has had on women's basketball. Her influence is so significant, it's been dubbed the Caitlin Clark effect. If she's the reason more fans are tuning in and more games are landing on national television, why should anyone resent the extra spotlight she's bringing?
I think it's all about money, marketing, and we cannot deny what Caitlin Clark has done for the women's game. I'm not going to act like it's something that we don't see. She's had a huge effect. Call it the Caitlin Clark effect. Yes, have we ever had teams have to get into larger arenas to play against a team? No, we have not. So if we have more eyeballs on the game and Caitlin Clark brings that, why would we feel some kind of way because she has more television games?
It's impossible to overlook Caitlin Clark. She's been nothing short of phenomenal and truly a game changer. The way she can completely take control of a game on her own proves just how unstoppable she is, which is exactly why so much attention is centered on her future.
I mean, you can't go without noticing Caitlin Clark. Right. She's phenomenal. And again, she's a little bit of like both of you. Like Diana's a bucket at all times, and she's a bucket like I don't care where she shoots from. You think it's going even her misses look.
WNBA players ranked Caitlin Clark as just the 9th best guard, even though fans put her at number 1 and the media consistently placed her near the top. Despite her dominance on the court and the league showcasing her as its centerpiece, there's still clear resentment from many players.
Players rank Caitlin Clark the 9th best guard
in the WNBA. Guard. Was she starting in the? Media. Yeah. What did the media rank her? 5?
Do you already know?
Or 9 too?
4.
Media ranked her 9 too, right?
As the best guard? No, media had her 1, didn't
9. No, fans
3.
had 1.
The lead story on Fox News.
Skylar Diggins better than
Skylar Diggins been hooping though this year.
So Caitlin Clark, fan rank 1, media rank 3, player rank 9.
Caitlin Clark has faced relentless physical play, getting shoved and targeted by opponents while receiving little protection from the league. Commentators have even suggested she needs an enforcer on her side just to make it through, since her current teammates haven't been able to shield her from the abuse.
If you heard, her enforcer is small for the league. She's like 6'1", but she played on the boys football team in high school. Like, she's not an everybody person. She's a really pretty white blonde girl, and yeah, but she played football in high school. And later in that game, she took out the girl who hurt Caitlin, and I was here for it.
That league is full of idiots.
The WNBA's surge in viewership and sponsorships is being credited largely to Caitlin Clark. Yet rather than appreciation, she's facing mounting resentment within the league. Players have openly shown jealousy, and some of the hits against her on the court have bordered on outright assaults.
The league just posted its highest average game viewership in 24 years. They're bringing in massive new sponsorships, at least by the league standard. They're selling out arenas, which used to be unheard of for the WNBA. And this should be a dream come true for everybody involved in the WNBA, from the executives to the players to the reporters who, for their sins in a past life, have been cursed with the job of covering a women's basketball league. Everyone should be overjoyed.
Even former WNBA players have acknowledged the impossible weight Caitlin Clark carries, expected to perform under the brightest spotlight while shouldering a league that often seems against her. They noted her fearless style of play, pulling up from deep and still finding ways to shine in the face of constant hostility.
And I feel like she probably has the pressure of the world on her shoulders, and she's still able to get out there and perform.
She's still able. She got the pressure of the world on her shoulders. That's a big statement, because a lot of people can't perform under just bright lights, let alone carrying a whole league that hates you. That's crazy work.
Unafraid, no fear.
No fear.
Just
pulling up from 34 feet.
Lisa Leslie has directly warned that Caitlin Clark isn't receiving the superstar treatment she deserves. She pointed out that rather than supporting Clark, the league has been targeting her and permitting unfair treatment.
This would just look like a normal like fashion brand. So yeah, I think at least the logo's cool in that way. I think the logo is really, really cool in that way. But yeah, like, are you going to be buying all these, or are you going to wait? I'm definitely going to wait till I definitely, for me, this isn't worth paying import duty on. And I'm going to wait until we see what the story is with the October the 1st one. Hopefully there is something cool in the Caitlin Clark line.
A serious groin injury isn't something to take lightly. It might feel healed, but one wrong move or cut can bring it back instantly. If it tears again, Caitlin Clark could miss the rest of this season or even all of next year. Lisa Leslie emphasizes that risking her career for a playoff run simply isn't worth it.
That deep groin injury is nothing to play around with. It can feel like you've never had it. You make one move, one cut, boom, she's back in the same spot. I don't know that it's worth risking it. If they get the 8th spot and you get into the playoffs, is it really worth looking at Minnesota round 1? I don't know. That's just my opinion. What you think?
Man, I mean,
The prevailing theory is that Caitlin Clark's delayed return stems from her ankle injury. The setback slowed her recovery, and there's concern the fever could rush her back in hopes of a playoff run. This has sparked debate over whether coming back now is truly worth the risk.
Is that it was the ankle injury is the reason why Caitlin Clark's not back right now. So my prediction is the Sky game, because if they win one of their next 3, they then go into that Sky game Sky, Mystics, and Lynx needing just 2 wins, and they should beat the Sky and the Mystics. Even if they lose one of them, all they have to do is realistically beat the Lynx on the last day of the season when Lynx aren't going to play any of their players. Because I don't think the Lynx want to play the Fever in the playoffs.
To not just build endurance, but to be able to handle contact 94 feet as it's going to be in game, and to be able to do that and sustain from an endurance standpoint. And that's going to take multiple practices to make sure that there's no regression. And as most of us know, when we get fatigued, we look different, and see how she plays through fatigue.
Sorry to follow up. Now,
the priority is ensuring Caitlin Clark can play basketball for many years to come. She shouldn't return until she's fully healthy. While the pressure to come back this season is intense, Lisa Leslie stresses that preserving her career longevity outweighs any short-term benefits.
Man, I mean, it would be lovely to get her back, but we care about Caitlin Clark playing basketball for a very, very, very long time. And so you don't want her to return unless she's 100% healthy. I'm thinking about more so from the player perspective of the pressure that Caitlin Clark is facing, getting back on the court. Her logo was just released a few days ago. I mean, obviously we've seen the fans and the number of people in attendance for the Fever. And so it's been tough, I would imagine, mentally for her to have sat out this many games her second season. I'm wondering if that pressure is starting to get to her a little bit about just returning this season and showing us that you can play basketball again.
Caitlin Clark has always shown respect for players before her and supports her teammates, yet she bears the burden of enormous expectations. With her driving record-breaking attention to the WNBA, the league reaps financial rewards from her presence. That very spotlight only intensifies the pressure on her to keep playing.
I think we have to understand that when one player eats, we all eat. And as we all get more opportunities, it just opens it up for everyone else. And I think Caitlin has said that even herself in certain interviews. And I love that. I love that she's not the player who's like, it's all about her. It's not. She's giving love and homage to those of us that have come before her. She shares the wealth with her teammates, and she doesn't have to do that. So I just don't, again, I don't know what the big deal is about the fact that Caitlin is getting a lot of love. She deserves that, and she's helped change this game just as a lot of other players have.
Caitlin Clark can defend, score, and literally take over a game on her own. That's why many hail her as a champion in the making. Yet the very skills that make her a game changer also place her under immense pressure, especially when she's dealing with an injury.
She has a little bit of you took some folks out a little bit, but you're strong, and that's what it takes to be a champion. But also kind of like the swoops too, like she can guard, she's unstoppable, she can take over this game literally by herself.
Caitlin Clark single-handedly outvoted all other players in the All-Star voting. Yet rather than acknowledging her impact, many players continue to dismiss her. This rejection highlights the league's underlying resentment toward the very force driving its growing popularity.
Her by herself, as an all-star voting, she outvoted all the rest of them combined.
But I know that's just her having the hype in her name. And
Yeah.
That's got nothing to do with game.
Know what I'm saying? So
she's just more popular.
If you take the most popular that everyone's fucking with, if you take her off the court.
Commentators have drawn parallels between Clark's situation and stars in the NFL and NHL, where top players, the real cash cows, are shielded at all costs. In the WNBA, though, the opposite is true. The league is allowing its most valuable player to be targeted with little to no protection.
I have seen enough I don't watch WNBA, and the fact that I've seen clips randomly scrolling on social media does speak to Caitlin Clark being that level of influencer, like that level of mover.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I've never seen a WNBA clip before, and it's like,
if you have, it was like a low light compilation or something.
Yeah, it was like a mocking compilation of like, look at these
Angel Reese rebounds.
Some players have even claimed that Clark draws too many white fans to the league, turning her popularity into a supposed racial issue. Rather than appreciating her impact, this resentment and envy are being masked as controversy.
Manufactured and overblown to take seriously. They're reaching to a degree that's comical and delusional at the same time. This scandal has been invented out of whole cloth by WNBA players for one reason and one reason only. They are racked with envy and resentment that the most popular player in the league is white. I mean, what they're really claiming is that Caitlin Clark, by bringing a bunch of white fans to the league, has naturally also brought racism.
In interviews, some former players have downplayed Clark, claiming she still has much to develop even after previously calling her the best they'd ever seen. These sudden reversals reveal how league pressure can quickly shift opinions about her.
I love Caitlin Clark. I've said that before, but I do love her. But it was taken out of context. I've always said that Sue is the one that like you are the, but no.
I don't
Like, no. I have to
saw it. Babe, take it.
Point guard I've ever played with, but you were completely different players to her. Like, and also too, she's got a lot of development and growth to come, but I feel like you are the consummate professional. But I think the way that you are able to bring a team together and make a team hum.
A serious groin injury isn't something to take lightly. One wrong move or cut, and she could be right back in the same spot. Many online voices argue that Caitlin Clark shouldn't return this year. They believe she should step back now and focus on preparing for the future. The question of whether to bring Caitlin Clark back is already on everyone's mind, but with that latest win, the pressure on her to return has only intensified.
She wouldn't put Caitlin Clark back out there this season. Hang her up. Now, a lot of people, man, like I said, I've been seeing this, guys. I've been seeing a lot of people in the comment section. I've been seeing a lot of people online.
I think they would be questioning whether or not to bring Caitlin Clark back. But now with that win, worst case scenario, you're in the playoffs if you win one. You're going to be in the playoffs on more than likely if you win one of those last 3 games, which they're not going to lose all 3. They're not going to lose 6 games in a row at the end of the year.
That deep groin injury is nothing to play around with. It can feel like you've never had it. You make one move, one cut, boom, she's back in the same spot. I don't know that it's worth risking it.
She's bigger than the entire sport, yet she's being mistreated and treated like she means nothing. The WNBA risks sliding back into irrelevance unless it recognizes just how valuable Caitlin Clark truly is. She's carrying an entire league that resents her a level of pressure most players could never endure.
When we talk about greatest of all time status, got to bring up Diana Taurasi, who finally hung it up after 20 seasons. Have you had a moment at all to chat with her following the announcement?
And it's why the WNBA's brief resurgence isn't going to last very long either. Very soon, the league will be back on the path to irrelevance and bankruptcy.
Lisa Leslie's message is clear. Safeguard your future before it's too late. Do you think Caitlin Clark should step away now to protect her career? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more updates.